Yeah. Yeah. You know what the going on. What's going on, my good people? This your boy, Life Up the Entertainer, here to bring you some action between Elizabeth City State, Winston-Salem State University, Johnson C. Smith University, Talladega College, Wilberforce University, Florida A&M. Okay? It's a lot of bands that participated in this. Now, it's speculation that Mississippi Valley was there, but I haven't found any footage of them, so I don't know if they made it or not. But y'all comment that below so I know if I can wait a little bit more and see if we can get some footage for them. But if not, you know, we're going to roll with this, okay? But I would like to say this as well before we get into it. This is my opinion, so, you know, this is what I'm giving to you, raw and uncut, okay? Now, this is the big HBCU Battle of the Bands 2026 Spring Edition. Now, they in this gym. I don't know if they're able to do a lot more in this gym or a lot less in this gym. We're just going to roll with the punches on this one. But I'm not going to grade them so hard on the formations. I'm going to add that, okay? Not going to grade them so hard on the formations, but I will be looking to see if they have their legs up, okay? And see if they will be skating in this gym. Now, if they're skating in this gym, I'm going to dock them out significantly on this. But I would want them to wow me in this, okay? Now, they also has some battles, too, so I will be grading that in the next video. But in this video in particular, we're just grading their gym performance, okay? I don't know what to expect from this, but, you know, I'm very excited to bring y'all this, okay? But again, yet again, you know, this is not them on the field. This is them on the inside of the gym. So they're very tight with space. So, you know, I'm intrigued to see how this is going to go for them. For every band, actually, to be honest with you. Especially Florida A&M, since that's a deep band. That's a humongous band to be doing this. So, you know, excited to see how that goes, you know. So, with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me, okay? So, with that being said, look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading for this indoor performance, okay? We're grading entrance, songs, formations, dances, breakdown, overall creativity. Maximum points they can make altogether is 25 with an extra incentive that would get them a possible 30, okay? Now, each band has the opportunity to receive a dub on their name. If they're able to make a 25 with all the exceptions, everything is a 5 besides creative, they would get a passing grade from me. Now, if they get marked off in certain categories, you know, they can still possibly get it if they make at least a 27, okay? That's only if they're able to, you know, stay consistent, you know, and reach at least a 27, okay? Now, they get a perfect 30, they did their damn thing, okay? But there's no losses, okay? I don't issue out any losses for performances, but it's just that extra incentive on how well they did, okay? Now, this will go into their records. Now, each one of these bands are in different divisions, okay? So, this will tally up to their division as far as their win ratio, okay? Now, again, there's no losses, but, you know, again, at the end of the day, we want honesty, and this is my fair take on it, okay? So, you know, sit tight, relax, let's get into the action. We're going to start with Elizabeth City State first, okay? All right, let's get to it. Okay. They got a lot of creativity from the drum majors in that. drum majors. Y'all.
Single. Okay.
I could tell that the floor is very slick. The floor is very slick, y'all. Like, I said, a couple dancers almost fell to bust their ass in that performance. Same thing with the drum majors. Like, I can tell that the floor is very slick. You're gonna have to put something on this floor, right? Sing trombones. Hype. I feel like I can give you more energy in this. let's get that a grade. Okay. Very entertaining field show, but I just feel like there's some stuff that definitely needs to be said in this performance. Now, granted, this is my opinion, so don't bash your boy in the comments because you disagree with my opinion, okay? All right, so entrance, I'm going to give entrance a 5. It was very solid. I could tell that the floor is slippery, you know. So, you know, I give them the benefit of the doubt that the floor is slippery for the drum majors and the dancers, okay? So I'm not going to take off as much as you think I will for that. So I'm going to give them a little exception for that, okay? But drum major performance in that beginning was phenomenal. I enjoyed every bit of that. Like, they got majority of their creative points simply from that. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot more creative points throughout this whole entire little performance they did. Not just with the drum majors, but it's a little bit with the dancers, a little bit more so with the flag line, though, believe it or not. The flag line did, let me rephrase that, the corp did real good. You know, so you get what I'm getting at. They did real good. Alright, but songs, I'm going to give songs a 3. When it came down to the dance feature, there was some spots that can be a little bit cleaner. I know that Elizabeth City State is a smaller band, but I felt like there was some parts that could be a tad bit cleaner. Also, when it came down to the feature with the corp, I felt like it still could have been, some parts were just a little empty, you know. So I kind of took off in that as well. I just feel like it wasn't as strong enough as it could have been. As far as formations, they kicked that ass, so I give them a 5 on that. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 4. Even though that there was a lot of slippery takes on the floor rather, I can tell that there was some parts up in there they could have hit a little bit better. Minus that. You know, I know that there was fighting with some elements, but I felt like that was one thing kind of holding them back in this performance. Breakdown, I'm gonna give breakdown a solid 3. The reason why I gave it a 3 is because I felt like, yes, they was dancing throughout majority of this field show, but I just feel like it was a lack of energy in this field show from the band. Like, I feel like it could have been. There's a lot of moments in this this performance when the energy could have been there. Like, it was one part when I saw the whole band really gave it all, but I seen some people skating through this breakdown. Like, I'm just ready to get this over with, dog, so I can go home. I don't care how small, how big you are, or anything. You know what I'm saying? If you got to put energy into something, you got to put that energy in it, man. And the crowd did not truly respond the way it could have been if they would have put more energy in it. Now, as far as creativity, they did the damn thing, okay? Creativity really, I mean, if I were a grade higher, I would give them an extra center for creative. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just how it is for them, okay? So, let's look up let's see how much they made and see if they got a passing grade or not, okay? They got them a 25. A 25, but it was not a passing grade because they missed it in a couple categories, okay? So they got them a 25, okay? Not bad, but I feel like they can do better, okay? But, you know, this is not the last time y'all will see me, so I will see more of them later on in their season from 2025. So if you're part of the family of Elizabeth City State, please consider subscribing. It means so much to me. Y'all will be seeing me soon, so make sure y'all hit that subscribe so y'all can see more content from me. Alrighty, moving on. Alrighty, so we got Winston-Salem State next, okay? This band here can really show out when they want to, man. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do in this performance. I got some good expectations for this band because they have some good shows every now and then, and I tune in and I see them. I'm like, yeah, Winston, cut up Winston. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna bring in this field show. So let's get into it. Start off with marching, parade style. Let's go. Give me hype.
possible. Or apparently you can go from
Okay. That made you give me some ass, bro. Let's go, drum major. Got the knees up. Got somebody kind of skating in that formation. Got to pick the legs up. Can't skate in that. Okay, Winston. Better hit that trail, dog. That's what I'm talking about, Winston. Very nice, Winston.
go.
Did that. Yeah. That's what I mean by having some energy, dog. Yeah. Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. Alrighty, let's get at a grade. That was a very, very good performance by Winston. Very, very good performance by Winston. They had me on the edge of my seat on that performance. They did. They definitely did. So let's give it a grade. So entrance, I'm going to give them a 5. Songs, I'm going to give them a 4. Formations, I'm going to give them a 4. Dancers, I'm going to give them a 5. Breakdown, I'm going to give them a 5. Creativity, I'm going to give them a 5. Okay? Let's see them grades. Let's see what they got. They got them a solid 28. Good job, Winston, man. That was good. So let me give my minor critiques on some things. But, I mean, Winston really brought that energy. That's one thing I like about this performance from Winston, that they brought that energy in this. You know, it was very exciting to see them performing this because they really brought that intensity. Okay? You could tell they've been working on this for a while, but, you know, they definitely brought that heat. That's what I like about it. Okay? Now, as far as the songs is concerned, only took off 1 point from them. I just felt like there's some songs that can be just slightly cleaner. Like, there was a part when they was doing the corp, I feel like there was some run issues in there. But also, close to the end, you know, there was some stuff that can be, tone quality could have been a little bit better. But, I mean, besides that, you know, everything was pretty much straight. When we come down to the formations, I get that you're in a gym, but anytime that you are in a performance, you still got to get them legs up. I don't care if your knees hurting or whatnot, you got to get your legs up. So it was, I put an error on them, you know, and if I didn't see that, I probably would have gave them a 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. But, you know, since this, I don't have too much to look at, and I'm just going off of what my initial reaction is, and I'm looking for small things. And so, look, getting your legs up, I don't care if it's a final leader drill or whatnot, you got to get your legs up. You got to get your legs up. That's very, very important. But, you know, hey, at the end of the day, you can only do so much. But, you know, work with what I got. But they still got a passing grade. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Paya. Well-deserved dub for Winston, man. Well-deserved dub for Winston. Good job, Winston. Very, very nice to see that from them. They deserved every bit of that. All right. We're moving on. All righty. So we're with Johnson C. Smith University. This is going to be interesting. I don't see this band often, but when they do, they always bring that. They always bring a little bit of that oomph, you know. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring in this. I'm hoping that they bring a lot more intensity. You know, one thing I want from them is that they stay consistent. Consistency is everything. So I'm hoping that they bring that for me in this one, okay? So with that being said, let's get into the action. Also, if you made it this far in the video without skipping or skipping ahead, shout out to you. Please give me that like and subscribe, okay? And if you're part of the Johnson C. Smith family or alumni, please consider subscribing as well. I got more content for you eventually, okay? So let's get to it. This is a small band too, by the way. y'all business, drum majors. See what y'all got. I kind of utilizing the some people who skating in this 8 to 5 though. Gotta get your legs up. Especially if you're in the front row. Trumpets. Trumpet skate hard. Get a drum line feature.
You don't feel like getting up?
Alright, let's get at a grade. So, entrance. And we're gonna get into that too. Alright. So they didn't have any dancers. Okay? So what we're going to do, because we got FAMU, they don't have any dancers. So they have to make up for it in the creative department. Okay? So when we go into that, creative dancers, they have no points in that. Okay? They have a 4 in creative. They have a 3 in breakdown. They have a 3 in formations. They have a 5 in songs and a 5 in entrance. Okay? So, you know, one of those things, too, I want to highlight, too, when a band doesn't have any dancers, they have to make up for it in the creative department. Okay? Now, I used to just give out an exemption for that, but, you know, if I'm not mistaken, they do have dancers. I'm not mistaken, but we have a band here who don't have any dancers either. So, you know, I gotta put them in a category with FAMU. So they have to make up for it in the creative department. You know what I'm saying? So just want to throw that out there. But let me give my verdict on why I gave it and what I gave it. In formations, there was some special the trumpeters, man. They were not getting their legs up. They were not getting their legs up, and that's what ate their lunch, man. If I would have saw them get their legs up and put more energy in that 8 to 5, I would have not looked at it. You know what I'm saying? So that hurt them significantly. Okay. Now we get down to the breakdown. I wouldn't say that didn't have the energy, but it was not clean as it can be, and I felt like there was some things that was missing in general as far as clarity in the dance moves. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, the crowd responds off of energy. You know what I'm saying? And consistency and cleanness. It wasn't clean. I felt like some people didn't know the dance moves. Some people were guessing. You can tell when somebody doesn't know the dance move, they're looking at their friend. They're looking at the other bandsman. You know what I'm saying? So you had a couple, not just one, but you had 3 or 4 people in the band who didn't know their dance steps. Okay? So I took off on that, so they got a 3 in that as well. Now, again, I had to hold them up to, you know, FAMU standards. If they didn't have any dancers, you know what I'm saying, they just had flag court, I just felt like, you know, they had to make up for it in the creative department. So it was lacking a lot of extra stuff in this. Okay? So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Don't shoot the messenger, but, you know, let's see what they made. Okay? Let's see what they made. They got them a 20. They got them a 20. Okay? With that being said, even though they got them a 20, doesn't mean that they can't earn themselves a dub later on in this. Okay? So I will be grading them going against another band. If I'm not mistaken, they're going against Winston. If I'm not mistaken. Okay? Let me just double check. Yeah, I think they're going against Winston. So, but if y'all like this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing, okay? Now, they did not receive a dub in this performance, but they got a chance to redeem themselves in this battle against Winston. So, let's see how that carries them in this upcoming battle, okay? So, if you're new to the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. It means so much to me. But that's my verdict, okay? So, they got them a 20. So, no dub, but they get a chance to earn it later. Hopefully. Moving on. Alright, we're moving on to Talladega College. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Now look, this band has been catching the blues from me a lot when I see them. So I got high expectations for them. I'm hoping that they can deliver on what they do. Okay? Now Talladega is a strong band. They're a strong band, especially when it comes down to that pen and power. Okay? Their power is something crucial. So I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited to see what they're going to bring, and hopefully they can bring that heat in this battle, okay? So if you're part of the Talladega College family or if you're alumni, please consider liking and subscribing, okay? So with that being said, let's get to it.
wonder if you could love me.
Okay, Talladega. Okay.
Let me hear you strong. Let me hear you. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Get a scramble. Okay, let's go.
Some of the latest drinking songs worldwide. Some of the greatest hits on television known worldwide. By the baby, yeah, and even Michael Jackson.
I see some people dancing and some people not dancing at all. It's like either y'all dancing or y'all not dancing. You know what I'm saying? Came in too early. Let's get that a grade. We started in the middle, like I think we skipped the intro, but we got majority of it, okay? So, entrance, I'm going to give them a 5, okay? Songs, I'm going to give them a 4. I just felt like, no, I lied. I'm going to give them a 3. The reason why I give them a 3 is because there was some parts when people are cranking, that's cool, but you could tell some people were missing as well. Alright? And also, even in the breakdown, somebody came in too early, you know, in the breakdown when the rapper was down there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, you know, that's a lack of clarity when it comes down to that. You should know when you come in on your song. Okay? Formations, I'm gonna give them a 5. Okay? Dancers, I'm gonna give them a 5. Breakdown, I'm gonna give them a 3. Okay? In breakdown, it was cool for what it was, but people were lacking energy. People did not know what they were doing in some parts of the stuff. Some one half knew, some other parts didn't. Now when we got to the rapper part, when you have half the band dancing and the other part is not dancing, that does not look good at all. Okay, it's either y'all gonna dance or y'all not gonna dance. You know, I mean, I'm like this. If y'all playing and it's a tuba break, why not get crunk with the rapper, right? So it didn't look good when you see half the band not dancing and some of the band dancing. It didn't make any sense, especially if it's the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get everybody hyped. So when you do that, you know, you kind of take away from it. You know what I'm saying? So it was some parts they kind of lost me in that. Now creativity, I gave them a 5. Okay. I gave them a 5 in creativity. They had some parts, even though I didn't catch it from the beginning. You know, there was some parts up in there I can say that brought a little bit of that intensity as far as creative. Okay, so that's my verdict when it comes down to that. I just feel like a lack of preparation for this is also. I feel like they came in cranking. They understood the assignment. I just feel like there was some parts that can be sprucing up just a little bit. Now that's my opinion. Don't shoot the messenger. I just feel like there's some parts that can be a little bit better than that. If you get what I'm getting at. All right. So let's see what they got. I got them a 26. They missed it by 1 point, ladies and gentlemen. 1 point. They were right there. Now, if we didn't have that situation happen in the breakdown, that would have been enough for them to carry. Okay? That would have been enough for them to carry. They would have got a passing grade from me. My only issue is that, you know, you got to, who's ever on staff of these field shows, y'all got to be on one accord with y'all bandsmen. You know, Talladega has the potential to do a lot of good things on the field. I feel like it's the lack of understanding how to deliver consistently. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to give me a climax, keep going up. Don't tether off. You get what I'm saying? And that threw that off of me. Okay? That's just me personally. You know, shoot the messenger if you want, but I'm just being honest with you. I just feel like that could be way better. That can be way better for what they put in. They did good. I just feel like that could be way better. All right? Now, they do have a chance to get a redemption, to get some redemption. They do. They are going against another band, and I got that battle. So if y'all want to see that, please consider liking and subscribing so y'all can see my opinion on that, okay? But again, ladies and gentlemen, it's all love, but that's my verdict, okay? So, moving on. Now we are moved on to Wilberforce University. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is my first time ever seeing them So I'm really excited to see what they're going to deliver in this. So, I'm excited. I hope that they bring that intensity. They look like a fairly big band, so I'm hoping that they bring that energy. One thing I would say, if y'all new to the channel, our great independent bands as well, etc. So, from, whatever you can get your hands on as far as HBCU content, that's me. Okay? So, welcome into the family. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much. You can always request videos later on when I get to y'all. Okay? So, again, ladies and gentlemen, it's all love here. So, I hope you stay with the family with that. Okay? So, with that being said, let's get to it. With that power. Drum majors.
just supposed to budget?
Yes. Yes. For this to be my first time ever seeing this band. Yes. They get a perfect 30 from me, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. That's up there. That's one of the strongest performances I've seen all day. Standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen. Standing ovation. Look, man, they did the damn thing. That's all I gotta say. Everything sounded good. They didn't held back. They had the energy. You know, I mean, if I was to give it one minor critique, I say I feel like the drum line can be just a tad bit cleaner. But besides that, I mean, like, look, that was a performance, dog. They had the energy. They utilized the gym floor better. The song sounded good. They had that power. Formations looked good. Everybody picked their legs up. The dancers did their thing. I was entertained from start to finish. Like, I enjoyed every bit of that performance. I enjoyed. No complaints at all. No complaints. And this is my first time seeing them ever. I'm very, very, very impressed. Very, 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 very impressed. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Payow. Well-deserved dub. Like, they brought that intensity. Like, whew. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoyed every bit of that performance from that band. Like I said, I think that's one of the strongest of the night. Definitely one of the strongest of the night. Alright? So with that being said, let's move on. Woo! Yes, indeed. Wilberforce University. Y'all got my respect, dog. Y'all got my respect. And y'all will get some trophy emojis by y'all name. Every time I mention y'all will get some trophy emojis too. Alright. So we're moving on to FAMU. Okay? We save the best for last. Allegedly. Allegedly. The best for last. Alright? So, it's going to be interesting to see FAMU pull this off because this is a humongous band. So I don't even know how they're going to even pull this off, to be honest with you. I don't know if they took half their band and put it in here, but it's going to be entertaining to see how they're going to pull this off. Okay? But what I would say about this is that it's going to be very entertaining to watch because Florida A&M know how to put on a show, a performance. Okay? So I do not know what to expect, but I have high expectations for this band. Okay? So if you're part of the FAMU community, please consider liking and subscribing. Right now I'm on the SWAC tier list, and right now currently I'm on Florida A&M right now. So I will be grading some of their field shows after I grade the rest of this Battle of the Bands. So be looking out for that video pretty soon. And if you're new to the channel, be a part of the family so you can see where your bands stack up in the SWAC. Okay? So with that being said, let's get into the action. Shout out to Ricky the Realist for getting this footage. Okay? Let's get to it.
Is over. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Florida A&M University Marching Band.
Oh yeah, this is Pepe. It's gotta be Pepe.
Our drill medley number 2. Compton is
Sound is
here.
just, you know what I'm saying? Like the sound is crucial.
What if instead of designing
Struggle a little bit on that power tune. Struggle just a little bit on that power tune. FAMU, man. The sounds are crucial.
In 2010, the 100 was here. Chinatown.
They just giving us a whole bunch of songs. Okay.
The consistency of 80 years, 1946 to 2026. The drum majors, the piccolo, clarinet, saxophone, trumpet, French horn, trombone, baritone, tubas, percussion, and flag corps. The 100 institutions since 1946. Dr. William P. Foster first arrived on the heights of Seven Hills in Talladega. We pause for a second to acknowledge the students who are from the South Carolina and North Carolina area. Please welcome Tyron Lloyd, a senior, attended Gaston County, Charlotte, North Carolina. Miles Luston, a senior, Grimsby High School, High Point, North Carolina. Terrell Townsend, senior, Marlboro County High School, Bennetville, South Carolina. His brother, Sean Townsend, a junior, Marlboro County High School, Bennetville, South Carolina. Taylor McRae, a freshman, Cane Bay High School, Charleston, South Carolina. And Taylor Clark, a freshman from James B. Dudley High School, Greenville, North Carolina. They're home. Welcome them back. Thank you. Give it up. From our concert band formation and from the pen of legendary FAMU arranger, Professor Lindsay Sargent. First with the hands of the Assistant Director of Bands, Dr. Ralph John Paul, we feature our dynamic flag corps. Gonna take you back to 1988. Keith Sweat, make it last forever. With Mega Bass.
Sound, man.
Next, with the baton in the hands of Florida A&M University Director of Bands, Dr. Shelby Chipman. Please enjoy Richard Smallwood's Total Praise.
I'm down on my left.
The difference between an experiment and experiment. No band sounds like a bunch of women.
It's a scrapbook.
They say we are the standard. Let's show them why. The dance routine. Whistle while you turn. Move the body. When they win. Don't try. Here we go.
Got the energy.
phone access. Thank you very kindly, ladies and gentlemen. Our March 100 Summer Band Camp is June 30th through July 12th. Visit us at FAMUbands.com to register now for middle and high school students. Bringing it off first, senior trumpet by way of Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome, Tyrant Lloyd. Come on, show some love. You from here? Traditional bow. Perfect. Winston-Salem, total super section. Down off the Georgia. Bring it down first. Bringing up the rear. Jeremiah Butler. The Mighty Northwestern High School, the bottom. You better recognize. And the final super player. You better recognize. Frank Nestor, Atlanta, Georgia. Austin WSSU School of the Arts. That moonwalk in the house for you. Show some love, the 100 is here for you. One last thing, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to announce, as we are speaking and meeting here today, the first ever.
Alrighty. Let's give it a grade, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it a grade. So, entrance is a 5. Songs is a 5. If I can rate it higher, I would. Okay? Formations a 5. There was no dancers. They had to make up for it in the creative department. Breakdown is a 5. Creativity is a 9. Okay? So they end up giving them a 29, ladies and gentlemen. A 29. Not bad at all, FAMU. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, ladies and gentlemen. That was a phenomenal performance. That was a phenomenal performance. I got to give it almost a perfect. I got one caveat on that. And, you know, the only reason why I say that is because I just felt like they could have gave me a little bit more instead of just songs. Now, songs are strong. Their songs are phenomenal. I just felt like they could have gave me some more to look at besides just concert formation. Even though they switched up the formation a couple times, I feel like they could have gave me just a little bit more in that. That's my caveat on that, but still a strong performance, man. Look, well-deserved performance, you know. It was entertaining to look at from start to finish, you know what I'm saying? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. They get a dub for that. Pay-out. Put a dub on their name, ladies and gentlemen. Put a dub on their name. Well-deserved performance. You know, I enjoyed every bit of that. Felt like that was a treat for everybody who waited and was patient. Okay? But I enjoyed every bit of that performance. Every bit of that. FAMU did their thing. Okay? Now, we're in a part of the video now when we're going to have to see who's the strongest band. Okay? Who was the strongest band? Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to comment your list below. But do not bash your boy for my reasoning. This does not affect their grade or anything. They are to receive their grades from me. But this is my ranking system as far as who was the strongest band that attended this Battle of the Bands. Okay? Now, granted, if I do see Mississippi Valley, that will be added on to this as well. But I don't see any Mississippi Valley footage at the moment. So when I do see it, I will add that into this. Okay? As far as this video is concerned. Okay? So, with that being said, what did they make? Okay? So, number one, I have to give it to Wilberforce University. Okay? Number one. Reason why I gave it to them for number one is the fact that it was so much right there and then. They utilized their the gymnasium better. That was me personally. I felt like it wasn't just, okay, I'm going straight to concert formation, we're going to play a couple songs and do other things later. No, they utilized their the gym, and that's what I liked more about them over FAMU. Okay, but FAMU definitely had a great performance, don't get me wrong. So FAMU for me is number 2. Okay, number 2 for me is FAMU. Okay, number 3 is Winston. Winston got that for number 3. Okay, they got 3rd place. Alrighty, number 4, I'm gonna have to give it to Talladega. Talladega did good, so they got 4th place for me. 5th place, I have to give it to Elizabeth City State University. Alrighty, and 6th place, I have to give it to Johnson C. Smith. Okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is my personal opinion, so they're not getting y'all feelings about these results. At the end of the day, it's all love. Okay? So, with that being said, that's my verdict, ladies and gentlemen. I have to give it to Wilberforce University. They just had a stronger gym performance. Okay? That's just my opinion. So, with that being said, I would like to give a special shout out to my channel member. Thank you so much for being part of this family, and you can also be part of the membership program as well. Our great band battles from the 90s on up, so if you're an alumni and you want to go back into your glorious days and look at some stuff, or if you're a percussionist and you want to see my percussion intake on a lot of things, our great exclusive percussion content, and you can request it if you become a member, okay? Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, you can. All you got to do is just hit that thank you tab below. All proceeds will go to me affording YouTube Premium. As you can tell throughout the majority of this video, a lot of commercials popped up, so that will prevent me from having that come up so frequently, okay? And also, after that, those proceeds will go into me affording shirts I will be selling, and I have some great shirt ideas I think that y'all might buy into. Alright? So with that being said, man, your boy finna get up out of here, man. And like I tell you always, deuces.